Okay, this is the Holocaust Part 2 lesson where you're going to learn about, what you usually think about when you hear about the Holocaust. And this, I'll give this statement now several other times. This is not an easy thing to learn about, but it's something we must learn about. We cannot forget about it. So to start off with, we'll just look at these pictures here. People just arrived on the trains to Auschwitz. They would put these people on the train wherever they got them from, all over Europe. Sometimes it would be days. It would be very cramped. Sometimes you'd have 250 people inside one of those things. And they would get them off, and then you'll see this in a little bit, they would sort them into who was going to immediately go to the gas chambers and who was going to work for a while. And then you see the other side of this is people from the camp at Auschwitz, one of the most infamous concentration camps the Germans had, that were liberated. You can see how they feel about that. So here are your learning targets. You're going to learn about several different things: the final solution, German concentration camps, resistance to them, and liberation from them during the Holocaust. Introduction. Again, millions of people were killed. It shows there was a lot of hatred, particularly towards Jewish people. And some people are tempted to not focus too much on this, but again, we will never forget. That's a phrase that was come up with, probably used in different things, but a phrase that was come up with particularly in reference to the Holocaust. And again, any questions you have while you're doing this, after you've done it, email me. In your directions, the final solution, you'll see that on slides 6 to 7, the concentration camps and the work and death camps on slides 8 through 12, the resistance in slides 13 through 14, and the liberation slides 15 to 16. Now, highlighted in yellow down here is where the work is. Slides 7, 10, 12, and 16. Make sure, dudes, that you do the surveys on slide 17. So the final solution section, as you see here, two key words there: final, you know what that means, the end; solution, a problem solving thing. So any problem that gets solved has a particular solution they're looking for. So this one was, as you see, the final solution to the Jewish problem. Now this slide right here is part of the information you can use to answer your question on this slide. But you can also watch this video, which is a video from a movie showing that conference where they came up with the idea for the final solution. So again, your information, that slide, and that video, but you could do it with just the information on slide 6. Then you get to the next section, the work in the death camps, and you see that from the map here, they were spread all over Europe, primarily Germany and Poland, particularly in Poland. So this is, again, your information on work camps, a little bit of information, a picture. Now this is a caption with another rhetorical question, a question to get you thinking, but you don't have to actually answer. That's part of your information. Then this map, part of your information. Look at the captions, the arrows and stuff that helps you, then your quick answer. So you can, again, use this information and the information to answer slide 2. Don't go looking anyplace else. It's all right there for you. Then the death camps. This shows the people, like from that train, there's a lot more of them, and they've been sorted. So one lot of those people went into the camp and worked for a while, and some immediately went to the gas chambers. And this is a gas chamber. And if you look close enough, you can see people heading in there. The actual gas chamber was down below, like underground, and this was what they call the crematoria. And this one, this might be difficult to look at, but it is part of it. Experiments in the death camps. They did take some of the inmates and experiment on them for their own purposes so they could make things better for their soldiers. So again, death camp information there, experiment in the death camps, and your death camp question. Then we get to the stuff where you start to see they were not just victims, they did fight back. They fought back. Here's a little tiny story about that. Here's a picture of what they blew up. And here's a picture of some of the women that were involved in making it blow up. Then you go to liberation for you see from the map. This is Germany being squeezed. The Soviet army's coming from the east. The British, the US, and the French army coming from the west. They're squeezing it up. And then liberation happens, liberation from the camps. And all these pictures show liberation in one way or another. You might be able to read if you make this present that sign that's up there. I'm not sure. But, oh, don't forget, you only have to look at slides 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, on slide 16, you don't have to reflect on both of them. You can pick one. Then the surveys, yes, do both of the surveys. Then there's the optional stuff. Again, the extensions. Now, this extension is a scene from an old TV series where they found a concentration camp, and you see some pretty hard to look at stuff. Email if you decide to do this. Email any questions you have when you're done.